Wow, so this is a first for me. I'm actually doing this video, starting out this video, au naturel. This is me with absolutely zero makeup on at the moment, and I have to say it feels kind of strange. I usually don't like to leave the house without my bronzer, like a tinted moisturizer on, and now I'm on YouTube looking really fabulous right now. But I thought this would be a fun video to do just to show you guys how I do my foundation. And I kind of wanted to go in a little bit about my skincare routine because I don't think you can have flawless foundation unless you start looking after your skin, because the better your skin looks, the better your foundation's going to look, or the less foundation you're going to need. And skincare to me is so important. I got started doing it really early. I know a lot of times people are lucky and their genes kind of play into it. If you've got great genes and genetics, who knows, maybe you don't have to exfoliate, maybe you don't have to go into a lot of things to look after your skin. But I've never really left it up to fate. I don't know what my genes are. I don't want to, hope down the road that, oh, it didn't matter if I exfoliated because my skin still looks great because I have good genes. I just exfoliate. I like to look after my skin. And I think everyone should too. So, using a good cleanser, a good serum, a good, exfoliant and moisturizer, those are all things that will, protect your skin and will keep it looking more youthful down the road, which is so important. So today what I did, because I knew I was going to do this video, today I exfoliated my face before I did this, and I used a Dermalogica Professional ampule. It was a multivitamin ampule, and you can't really get those on the market like just like a person walking into a store and buying one. So just any exfoliant you have, you can use. And if it's gentle, you can use it 1 to 2 times a week. Because this is a really strong one, I usually use mine about once a month, and I give my skin a really good clean out. Because yeah, it's pretty strong. And then I follow it with a calming mask or something to calm down the redness in my skin. Skincare is just so important, and that's just really what I wanted to get at today. And I think I've got pretty good skin to this day because I've always looked after it. So yeah, I exfoliated. That's all I've done. I don't have anything else on. So the next step that I do, or that some people can do, is toning. And toning, sometimes I wonder whether or not toning is just like an extra product someone can try to sell you, when you're buying skincare, when you're buying makeup. It's, I've never really thought it does that much. I know it can be a great conditioner for your skin, or just like a hydrating mist, but I don't know, if I miss it in my routine for the day, I don't think my skin looks any different. I didn't tone, it's just, I think it's something nice, you can do on occasion, but certainly don't beat yourself up about it if you don't do it, like you should if you don't use a moisturizer. I think moisturizing is really important. But the one I use, I keep at home, is my Avion facial spray. And this stuff really rocks. I've tried some other toners, but this I actually purchased not really for a toner. It was more for a hydrating spritz, because I was traveling to Australia, and that's like a long ass flight right there, and I can't sleep on planes, and I just go crazy when everyone else is sleeping, and I just really wanted to have something that would kind of help wake me up on these long plane flights. So I ended up getting this, not to think, oh, it's going to help my skin, but it did, because, airline flights just take it out of your skin so bad. It just dehydrates you and makes you feel all crummy, and my skin just looks absolutely tired when I get off a long flight. So that's what this was great for. So I'm going to go ahead and spritz a little bit of my Avion toner. See, I love it already. When summer comes, I'm just going to be keeping this in my purse at all times. It's just such a nice refresher spritz. So you can get it in like a travel size or a regular size, or if you have a toner, use your toner now. Like I said, I don't think it's, going to ruin your day if you miss out on your toner. So I kind of just let that, absorb. I've spritzed it on. A lot of toners, you can use the ones with like a cotton pad and put it on there. But yeah, it's a great little conditioner for the skin. And then next what I would do would then be a moisturizer. Now I've got a lot of different types of moisturizers, but the one that I'm really obsessed with at the moment is one I ordered. I think it's a French brand. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Embryolis or Embryo. Yeah, I read about it in a magazine, and I think I paid like $25. I bought it online at dailycandy.com. Because I'm so bummed you can't just get it at stores here. I think you can only get it online. But this is seriously, I love this moisturizer. This is great if you want something that's really nourishing and hydrating. My skin just soaks this stuff up. It is so good. So I've got to keep this in my arsenal, but I'm going to put a little bit of this on my skin. Can't wait. Moisturizing is my favorite part of the day. Oh, love it. It's got a really nice clean smell. Kind of bring it down my chin as well. Oh, see, this is what I've been missing. Before I did this video, I'm just sitting here and I was like, I want to put my moisturizer on. I want to, spritz my face, because after I do a really strong exfoliant, my skin just needs something to liven it back up. And this, I just really, really love that moisturizer. And so next, same with the toner primer. I know a lot of makeup artists like to use primer before they apply any makeup, but as I have said before in the videos, I'm not a professional makeup artist. I'm just a regular girl that likes to play with it, and I have used primers, and I do have some primers, but it's kind of like the toner in that I haven't noticed it makes that much of a difference on my skin, hours after I have my makeup on. I know a primer is great to help set your foundation, so your foundation doesn't sink into lines and cracks, and it can also help, make your foundation fresher and last longer. I think a primer is great if you're going to be doing a photo shoot and you're going to be under harsh lighting, or if you have oily skin, because it can help mattify shine, and then you can use less powder or maybe no powder at all. So I'm not doing a photo shoot, so I don't think I need a primer. And occasionally I'll use one. It's just kind of what I feel like for the day. But it's kind of the primer is kind of the same with the toner for me. So I like the Laura Mercier primer. That's a good one. And then if you're kind of more oily in your skin, then I think it's Cargo's Blu-ray Mattifier Primer. That one's really good for combating oil and stuff like that, so your skin doesn't look too oily when you apply your foundation. But if I am going to use a primer, the one that I don't even think it's meant to be a primer, it's just kind of fallen into my lap, and that's what I really like to use it for. I even sometimes use it as a moisturizer, but it's La Prairie Extract of Skin Caviar Firming Complex. This is a professional size, so it comes in a lot smaller bottle, but I really like the La Prairie Caviar range, and I really, really like this one as a kind of a primer for my foundation, only because I hate doing foundation on like dry skin. I like to apply my foundation as soon as I've got my moisturizer on, or as soon as I've put a primer on, so your skin kind of has that slick to it. I think it absorbs better, and it just makes it look more flawless, I guess. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this on now. What's great about this too is it gives your skin that really dewy look. If I'm not using a primer, the other thing that I love are these products you can put on before you put your foundation on that gives it kind of like a translucent effect, or like a glow. You don't want to make your face look sparkly, but just it gives it that nice kind of sheen to it. And I think that I love that look of that really just kind of glowing natural skin. Although you'd get it with some help, it's not totally natural. So yeah, that's the La Prairie Extract of Skin Caviar Firming Complex. So that's on, and now my skin is prepped and ready for my foundation. And I know I've talked about this before, but I'm still using my Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua Foundation in B20. Still am obsessed with this stuff, so I'm going to shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up. No, I don't do that. I don't sing that song all the time when I do it. Because usually when I apply my foundation, it's in the morning, and I don't feel like singing in the morning. So that was especially for you. Okay, so little bit of foundation here. As I said before, if I can use my finger for a lot of the stuff I do, I will. I do have a foundation brush, but I prefer putting my foundation on with my hands, with my fingers, and then blending. So I just kind of put it on my hands like this. And then, got so much hair here, and then just kind of blend it in. And I just think it does. I mean, there's no residue really on my finger, so it's not like it's not sinking into my skin, but I just feel like those products that that can help, you know, give your skin a little bit of a glowy slick to it, and then you apply your foundation. This one I had a sample of that I actually really want to get is, I think it's a NARS. It's my NARS again. It was like a NARS hydrating serum, but it had that really translucent effect to it, and I really loved that before putting on my foundation, so I think I'm going to get that one. So now I'm moving to the other side, and as you can see, I'm doing my foundation in natural light. And I know you can't always, I mean, look, I do have a bathroom, and I do, a lot of the times I do my foundation in the bathroom, but I love to do it in natural light. I think you always do just the exact right amount of product when you do it this way. My bathroom, it's got these really kind of fluorescent bulbs. I don't really like doing my makeup in there because I think it like emphasizes my redness. I don't like seeing my redness. Okay, then we'll do a little bit on the forehead. Blushes are great too or brushes, sorry, for, you know, blending around your, you know, your nose and stuff like that. I've just always used my fingers. But it's whatever floats your boat. And I always make sure I kind of blend down into my neck area. And do the same thing with your bronzer. And blend it into the hairline. Foundation hair is not cool. Okay, and then I'll do a little bit too. I like to put a little bit of foundation on my eyelids. That was way too much. My finger. This is like for my eyeshadow base. I feel like I need to have music going. It's so quiet. And a little bit more on my Rudolph nose. So that's, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's how I apply my foundation. And then from this point on, I would then go towards using some concealer to put on my blemishes and on like my nose and my cheeks where my redness is. So yeah, to me, that's how you, it's first, it's always the way you look after your skin, which can make a difference in having great foundation coverage. Because if your skin's really dry, you've got dry patches everywhere, if you don't have the right foundation, some foundations just like sink into that, and it just makes it more obvious that you have your foundation on, because it just gets in those dry cracks, and it just, you know, looks really unnatural. So it's always key to find the right products for your skin, and I can never emphasize enough how important it is to look after it and cleanse and, you know, moisturize and exfoliating. I'm like obsessed with exfoliating everywhere. I love it. You know, I think that's the first step towards anti-aging is finding the right exfoliant that's good for you, along with a key moisturizer, and then a few different makeup looks that you know, work really well on you. A couple daytime looks and a couple evening looks. Simple steps you can take. So yeah, that was pretty much how I do my foundation, and the steps I take to receiving it. So yeah, so cleanse your face, exfoliate, find a good moisturizer. If you don't want to use a primer, just find one of those really great illuminating products you can put on your skin beforehand, or that you can even mix in with your foundation. I forgot to say that a lot of these products I like to just actually, when I squirt my foundation in my hand, I put a couple of drops of that, and then I, you know, mix it all together and then put it on. So it's kind of, yeah, whatever you want to do. But they're not really secrets, I guess. I suppose they're just things that you kind of can figure out the more you play with makeup, and the more you know about your skin. But I just wanted to show you guys what I do. So thanks so much, and I'll see you later.